Hooked. In a single word, that's how I feel about this game, and in more ways than one. Hooked by the arcade-style gameplay, hooked by the satisfaction of every victory, and hooked by the motivation of every defeat. Many games will have you on the edge of your seat, but few as much as this one. What was arguably the perfect revival of one of Nintendo's oldest franchises. I'm FibreOpticBroadbean, and this is why I love Punch-Out Wii. Enter Little Mac, a plucky, vertically challenged featherweight underdog and the hero of this game. The story follows his boxing career. He's just kicked things off and he wants to take on the world, and that's about all there is to it. But honestly, that's all it really needs, because Punch-Out is a lot more focused on its gameplay. It harkens back to the old NES days with its arcade-style gameplay that we've all come to know and love. While Punch-Out may look like a simple sports game on the outside, it is far more than just that. Honestly, I'd describe it as more of a puzzle game in disguise. It's all about pattern memorization and figuring out your opponent's tells and cues, attacking based on those. Each opponent has a different fighting style and has different tells and new tricks to learn. Whether they twitch before their punch, whether their eyebrows raise, some of them even straight up tell you, "Here it comes!" Oh, cheers mate. You really have to get the timing right to get into the groove of the fight. And you will lose, over and over and over again. Sometimes it will feel like lights out. But that's the beauty of it. You may want to throw your controller against the wall, you may want to quit, but even then, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you will always want to get back up. And that's because with every fight you lose comes a gain in knowledge. Knowledge about how to take down your opponent. With every fight you'll find yourself doing better and better until you finally land that sweet, sweet KO. Winning a fight feels incredibly satisfying because it feels like you've worked so hard towards it, and the opponents really make sure you know that. Their punches pack an insane, well, punch, and they feel so impactful. Yours, by comparison, not so much. It's like you're just nagging away at your opponents. But that all changes when you find out about star punches. You can earn stars by hitting opponents at the right time, and when you get them, you can unleash a powerful attack that feels like one of the ones your opponent has been landing the whole time. To land these punches is so satisfying. Sometimes you can even get them down in one hit if you get 3 stars. But these guys don't make it easy. In fact, most games, they have a few bosses, but in this game, every opponent is a boss fight. Every fight is really intense, and this is added to by the music, which really gets the adrenaline pumping. But just who are these mysterious opponents? And that brings me on to what is probably my favourite part of this game. The fighters. These guys are absolutely ridiculous. They are bursting with personality, and they are just the embodiment of extreme stereotypes. You've got Glass Joe, this pathetic Frenchman who bursts into croissants when you knock him down. You've got this militaristic German man, von Kaiser. You've got Bear Hugger, this Canadian dude who just guzzles maple syrup like it's water. And you've got Don Flamenco, a bullfighter who's into boxing for some reason. The personality really shines through in the fighting style. You know, Glass Joe, he's all cowardly and weak. You've got Piston Honda who bows respectfully mid-fight. And I'd be a fool not to mention Aaron Ryan. And this guy... I'm pretty sure he needs some help, first of all. But the main thing with him, his gimmick, is that this guy, he cheats. Straight up cheats. He has horseshoes in his gloves, and he claims... It's not just the opponents who have personalities either, because your coach, your friend Doc Lewis, is absolutely useless.
What's your favorite flavor of protein shake? Mine's chocolate.
How is this in any way related to...
What's your favorite flower, son? Mine's chocolate.
That doesn't even make
There
sense.
are many ways to eat a chocolate, but there's only one way to eat a chocolate bar.
First of all, that isn't even true. And second, never mind. In spite of this, Doc is someone who's always there for Mac, is always in his corner, and always believes in him, no matter what. Okay, to be fair, my reaction would probably be the same here. And that brings us nicely onto Mr. Sandman, the final opponent of this game. This dude took out every fighter before us effortlessly. He destroyed a building with one punch. And compared to the other fighters, well, let's just say he makes them look like a joke. This fight is super intense. His punches are insanely strong and come out faster than any other. You lose to him so many times. You'll get hit by so many of his punches, but gradually, slowly, eventually, you'll figure out the Sandman and take him down once and for all. And getting that belt is oh so satisfying, because you are the champion of the WVBA. You thought it was over? Oh no no no. You may have the title, but you still have to defend it. And here is where the game really ramps up. Every single opponent you've fought comes back for round 2 and is much stronger. Glass Joe comes back with headgear and he's actually a challenge now. I don't know how they did it, but they made Glass Joe actually seem like an intimidating opponent. His headgear protects him from punches to his weak jaw, so you have to rely on gut punches, but eventually you'll figure out his tricks, right? And then you'll move on to Von Kaiser. I mean, he's the second guy. I mean, surely they can't do anything too bad with him, right? They gave Von Kaiser an insta-kill attack. What? This is the point where you know this game ain't playing around anymore. Every character has their reasons for improving, most of which are strictly personal with Lil Mac. King Hippo decides to invest in a manhole cover to protect his main weakness, that being his rather large stomach. And this adds another element of puzzle solving to the fight. How do you get the manhole cover off? Piston Hondo, he was very fast the first time round, right? They can't make him that much faster. You gotta be kidding me. Bear Hugger straight up brings a squirrel into the fight. I mean, I don't think that's allowed, but he does it anyway. And don't even get me started on Aaron Ryan, who brings a weapon into the fight. He ties a glove to his rope and uses it as a whip. He was cheating before, sure, but now? That's not even in the realms of boxing. Each fight takes significantly longer to get right than before, but eventually, you'll work your way up, all the way to Mr. Sandman, and he is mad. Once again, it feels like you've been presented with another immovable object. This fight is absolutely insane. He's even faster, even stronger than he was before, and he has this new signature move, yeah, you heard the man, the Dreamland uppercuts. These are crazy, and you have to dodge them with super speed. He winks to determine which side he's attacking on, just like Mike Tyson did in the NES games. But eventually, if you keep trying, if you keep fighting, if you don't give up, you can, and you will win. On top of all of this, there's actually a secret fighter, and that is Donkey Kong. He's back again, and about time too, and this is a really neat inclusion. You get to fight Donkey Kong of all the Nintendo characters, and that is just crazy. He is very strong, and he's arguably even stronger than Sandman. The fight really captures his personality. He honestly seems so playful and his attacks are effortless. He just looks like he's having fun. You can even spot him in the audience beforehand. But honestly, this was something that they really didn't need to include, and it's so cool to see that they went the extra mile to do it. Speaking of going the extra mile, Punch-Out Wii really goes the extra mile to be faithful to the NES counterpart. It has a nice unique cartoon art style which breathes new life into the old NES sprites. They look absolutely hilarious now and they're so expressive. When you see their attacks, you know exactly which NES ones they're based on. Even their knockdowns, they managed to replicate those. And one thing that was super cool were the training montages. They brought back the iconic bike scene with Doc, Lewis and Mac, and that is just super cool to see, fully rendered in 3D. Overall, Punch-Out is just a great package. It's an intense, action-packed and challenging game. It oozes with personality and will keep you hooked and coming for more. I'll never get tired of Punch-Out, and that's really a testament to how faithful it was to the arcade style. It's honestly one of my favourite games of all time. And who knows, maybe one day we'll get another Punch-Out on the Switch. One can only dream.